But what was your personal experience in also in like getting disaffected with the group? Like what happened with you that you started? It was something that happened to you, or you just started seeing holes in the beliefs?
Well,
Or how would you describe that?
I noticed that I was the only loud female voice there. Okay, there were two others that were there at the time, and they were very subdued, I guess is a way to put it. They were I guess introverted, mousy. They weren't very strong personalities, right? They were kind of pick me, yes sir girls. Okay, I am not that girl. If I was that girl, I would have stayed, in Christianity, because I'm sorry, but they do, demand that women obey their husbands. That's sort of the vows they take when they get married.
Yeah.
So I noticed that Snappy was being a bit like using passive aggressive techniques and type energy anytime I might have stepped on some toes. So they kind of placated me and kind of kept me in this box to where, I didn't cause too much trouble and I stayed happy. I was basically a front. I was the sit-in uterus that they could hide behind to say, see, we honor women, we love women, we're honoring the goddess. When in actuality, that's not the way it was at all. When the Danny Jones drop hit, and there was an upsurge in everybody's numbers. I mean, huge spike. There was 400 and 500 people joining a week in the Discord server. They were mostly men. They were mostly really angry men. Men that had been harmed by the church, men that had been sexually abused as a child, men that had deep mother wounds, with issues, had issues with females. I have a recording where this one guy, I don't even know who he is. I didn't put it with the slides, but he was belligerent drunk, just screaming, called Examiner as a cunt. And I'm like, why I'm a cunt? He's like, just because I said so. I'm like, okay, whatever, okay, honey. I was laughing at him because I'm like, because this was very typical of the behavior of the men.
Yeah.
And I was really getting sick of it because once I get my belly full of some abuse, I'm like done. So I started pushing back, and I can get pretty militant. I'm a Capricorn. I can be pretty militant when I know somebody's just really trying to be a dick for no reason, just to be an asshole. So I was pushing back. Well, I got called into a meeting. Now, this is when I rage quit, and I rage quit. I was not kicked out. I got called into a meeting by Snappy in front of several other people I did not know. My mental health was questioned. I was accused of being too emotionally involved. Now, keep in mind, they had meandered me into a position basically of den mother. Okay. And I had given, I sent one guy a laptop, this one guy, Gandhi, I was real good friends with, sent him boxes of stuff for him and his family, silver, books, tarot, stones. I mean, I have a lot of stuff. So I'm like, I'm just going to give you all this stuff because I like to bequeath. Okay. I didn't want anything in return. Becca, I am just altruistic like that. I give until I can give no more. So
before you get into the meeting, let me just ask you. So you think there was other women in the thing, in the Discord, in the surroundings?
Yeah, were all these people were there there was men or women?
There was mostly men. I can show statistics. All of the statistics is, saying the majority, over half. I would even go as far as say about 80%, okay, of the analytics was male, okay?
Yeah. But did you knew other women in there, and they were the ones, as you said, that were mostly quiet?
Right.
Yeah. When you got closer to the inner circle of everybody, was there fewer women, or what did
there was literally only 3 of us active women before the Danny Jones drop. There might have been other women in the Discord, but they weren't like active, right? They were not active members. I was producing the music videos to the music that Cirrus 21 was making, Mandy Moorhall was making, Snappy was doing stuff. These guys had me creating shit for them.
Oh,
that's
you gotta send me more of these music
They keep
people.
the women busy. They keep the women busy so they can't see like what's really going down. So going back to the meeting, so I was accused of being too emotionally involved. Well, no shit, they made me emotionally involved. They put me in that position, right? I was a mod in the server. I was a mod for Lady Babylon. I was a mod for Drawing Down the Stars, which is Snappy's channel. There was all kinds of future planning or future faking, if you will, is what I call it now. So when Snappy said, you're just too emotionally involved, I said, hold on a minute. I said, there's something really wrong going on in the server. I said, women are coming to me. Now, these were new women. Now, remember the upsurge after Danny Jones. So men and women were in there. The women had 3 women had come to me and been like, I don't like this. I don't like that. And Snappy said, well, I can't believe that, all this is going on right now. I said, well, the women are coming to me. And if you're not going to ensure that there is a safe place for these women to be, then I will go make a place for them. And that is when Snappy went off on me, screaming at me. And I just left. I rage quit.
Quick question. Who's Snappy? More specifically.
We'll see Snappy's hazing ritual too. Snappy is the owner of Drawing Down the Stars channel.
So you'd say he's like one of like Ammon's, for lack of a better word, lieutenants or whatever, one of his top people.
Yes.
Okay.
A male.
Gotcha. Is he a turtle?
He's a male.
When I met Snappy, Snappy was female facing, going by she, Lady Snappy.
What?
What I heard, now this is what I heard, word of mouth, was that when Snappy first met Hillman, Snappy was male facing, straight man, engaged to a female. But after the hazing ritual, sometime, I don't know the time, Snappy wanted to be polyamorous and trans, and the girl was not down with it, so Snappy broke off the engagement. So, and now Snappy's male facing. I'm not sure what assignment of gender. I'm not going to try to guess. When I walk away like that, I walk away. And it wasn't until the gang stalking, the bullying, and the bullshit that I was like, fuck this, I have receipts.
So back to the meeting. Snappy.
Hold on. So I'm still processing this. Ammon met this person who is presumably straight. This guy gets involved with him. Suddenly he's trans. And no one finds that a little odd?
Well, we're living in cancel culture where, you either go along to get along or you are excommunicated and blackballed. And that's what I was. I was blackballed.
Yeah. I mean, it could be completely coincidental. It just seems like odd lineup of timelines, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't want to dig much into it, but we got it. It's weird.
I'm sorry, I just fried my brain for a moment. Like, what is Ammon doing to these people? Jesus. All right, sorry, continue. The meeting.
So, I rage quit, and then I didn't say anything for a few days, and they were really, really nervous. And then I sent Snappy a letter, and Snappy wouldn't even read it and just went off on me. And then that was when the gang stalking started. I went to, because there has been multiple servers, okay? Because there are groomings, right? There's groomings and there's tests. And there are channels set up in Discord it's like bait, to bait you to see where you're at politically, emotionally, spiritually.
Is that part of the grooming? They just kind of intellectually berate you until you get the right answers?
Well, I mean, this Discord server was the sifter, right? To sift through, to make sure you have your echo chamber, which is what you produce while cultivating, your members. The only things you can't be, is of the Abrahamic belief or of a conservative leaning. But here's the weird thing is the double speak. Okay. So you really have to know something about the occult or you're going to get lost in it. And that's what I've been trying to tell people. And I have newbies coming to my channel, talking smack. And I'm like, you don't know the occult. And if you do not know the occult, Hillman has you.
So you had the meeting. They screamed at you because you were being too...
you were noticing things.
You were noticing things, and that's when you quit it. And you were explaining to us how the Discord works, and it has all these chats where it's like I said, the code within a code. You would say that was the forward-facing chat rooms and whatever, where they sift through people. And would you say that there's another level that maybe you weren't privy to, like the inner circle, that you get to after you've been tried?
I think that I'm pretty sure I got as far as I could go as a female.
So you think there's higher levels that women can't get into?
Absolutely. We're dealing with an ancient Dionysian cult here.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What's very interesting is the reason I got his attention, and the only reason he finally held a Q&A one time in the Reddit group, was I brought out all these emails that people had sent me, and I'm like, because he had told me that we would do a Q&A, and he told me to set it up, and I set up a special email, Ask Ammon 666. There's all these people send these emails. Well, he just totally collapsed. It's really weird how it's like he's not allowed to, he's very skittish and weird about how he appears in public with the women. It's really weird. So he got weirded out and first said that Snappy would need to be involved after he already said we would do the Q&A. Because here's all these people coming, and here I am, the humanitarian, saying these people have questions and concerns, right? These people are in fucking spiritual limbo. Can we have a Q&A? He agreed to it. I set it up. Then he wanted Snappy involved, and then he got weirded out. So people were still sending me emails months after I left. So I said, fuck it. I'm just going to start reading emails. Well, that got his attention, got everybody else's attention, got more abuse from them too. And that got them to do, they've only done this. Now, this is just fucking weird. They've only done one interview with a female since I left. And Snappy has interviewed one female since I left. That's just really weird for a pagan group that claims to honor the divine feminine and the goddess. So Snappy says if people can't handle others being free to explore and discuss gender, then you will never know thyself. The greatest sage was Tiresias, who lived as a man, a woman, and a mouse. The entire Orphic tradition is based in reforming the divine themes, giving birth to the divine androgyne to come, reforming the rebus. Standing against tyranny is a duty. It's not picking.
They're asking to see the court documents, Cole Examiner.
A moral
Can you pull those up for us here in a minute?
Us who worship the mother, people who are so offended and unable to handle any talk of gender below my mind, especially the occult world, especially here in a place where we worship the great mother who is intersexed with a penis. Here we worship Dionysus and Attis, gods of queerness. If gender makes you uncomfortable, if femininity makes you comfortable, then you have some serious self-reflection to do. Let's listen at that. Let's read that again. If gender makes you uncomfortable, if femininity makes you comfortable, then you have some serious self-reflection to do. If femininity makes you comfortable, then you have some serious self-reflection.
This is what Snappy's saying.
And newsflash, this community is queer positive and gender positive. We will talk about it openly and often. And us, I guess it's UF, but I think it meant if that's a problem for you, move on with your life. This community is run by a bunch of gender-bending queens. If you don't like that, move the fuck on.
Fucking Snappy.
Okay.
I gotta give a.
I would ask, you think this is Ammon approved, like it's part of the core beliefs, or is this snappy person asserting their own things?
Oh, no,
yes, this is fully part of the teachings. If you go and you work through Hillman's work, you're going to understand the Orphic traditions that he is teaching. He is initiating you into his tradition.
Right, so what you showed us is basically Snappy showing their
laying down
hands
the wall
of what, like you said, the Discord and his double speak. He has a little bit for everyone, that's curious and that's occult minded.
Right,
and this is basically Snappy showing her hands like this is what it is, and you can question these things.
Right. So this was Snappy laying down the law shortly after I left. This was never put to me this way, but Snappy just let it out.
Jesus was the purple man, living in a desert, purple land. Snake bite to the head, antidote from a boy's clan.